You may not be aware, but negative or extreme events have a strong impact on what we feel and how we act. This is due to the fact that they are more available to us in our memories. But what happens when no extreme events exist? What if we fail to make a first great impression on our audience? According to our discussion in the First Impression Matters section, we must be doomed, as people will most likely never return to our website. Or they may label our website as bad or okay, which is confirmation bias, and filter out any evidence that will contradict their first bad or okay impression. Similarly, if we made only an okay first impression, it would be very hard to change our audience perceptions from okay to wow. Well, the availability principle to the rescue again, in the form of last impressions. In one study on perceptions of their holidays, described by Daniel Kahneman, when participants rated their vacation experience, they were deeply influenced by their last experiences of the holidays. A very large number of studies actually confirm that people use their last impressions of an experience, brand, product or service as a reference point for their entire experience. In short, people attribute more value to their most recent experiences. So, for example, if you have a great check-in into a hotel, receive great service throughout your stay, but experience an okay checkout, you will most likely report the okay checkout disproportionately when reviewing the hotel. Basically, what you would have scored a 10, you may now score as an 8. But if you think about it, your checkout experience is only a very small percentage of your stay in the hotel. In brief, you may deliver a first great impression, but if you spoil it down the funnel and your last impression is not matching that first great impression, your audience will devalue disproportionately your website, product, brand, and so forth. Of course, the upside is that if you have an okay first impression, but wowing your audience on checkout, for example, the last impression will be more available in their mind and increase the overall satisfaction with your brand, product or service. In my experience as an ex-general manager for Holiday Inn and Hilton brands, these brands have an obsession with the guest checkout experience. Specifically, the reception team member must proactively ask people about their hotel experience, identify any potential dissatisfaction, and fix it to the guest satisfaction. Because hotel brands know that the last impression really counts, and the results are always visible in the guest satisfaction surveys, where the people who had the problem during their stay, whether at breakfast, dinner, room experience, would rate this experience lower than the overall satisfaction score, but only when they had an issue that was resolved to their satisfaction. In brief, they had an issue at, let's say, breakfast, they scored it low, yet because it was fixed to their satisfaction, the overall score of the stay was not affected and has even increased. Finally, keep in mind, as we discussed already, that we always remember negative or extreme events more. Hence, when having a great checkout experience, hotel guests will bump up unconsciously their actual experience of the hotel. In turn, it is more likely that you have now won a return customer. Now, replace the word hotel in my example above with the word your website, your product, your brand, your service. The same principle applies. So, in this context, Neil Patel's advice on using exit pop-ups to boost conversion rates makes sense. Of course, this applies to anything from splash pages to your thank you pages or auto-respondent emails, for example, which is why it is so important to continuously review your funnels, split test, research, and so on. Make the last impression work for you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next session.